The world keeps spinning, but do you feel something slipping through your fingers? Every day is the same. Effort, tension, decisions that drain more than they produce. Small opportunities slip by unnoticed, like grains of sand that fall without you noticing, and regret grows silently, accompanying you in moments when everything should be light. Do you realize that 97% of people follow this cycle, ignoring clear signs that something could change, and wondering too late why they didn't notice sooner? Imagine walking in a foggy field, uncertain steps, every movement a risk, and no one shows you the right direction. But there is an almost invisible point, a tiny instant that carries enough power to turn the tide, reorganize the body, mind, and the world around you. A micro-moment capable of transforming tension into clarity, chaos into flow, confusion into harmony. It's so brief that many never notice, but enough to align thought, emotion, and action, as if each breath became a code the universe understands. What would happen if you noticed this secret space between stimulus and response, before days, weeks, or months are lost in the repetition of exhausting patterns? Every second wasted without awareness keeps you trapped in invisible cycles, in noises that block the energy that could be yours. But there is a gap, an imperceptible interval between what happens and how you respond, which, when recognized, transforms pressure into opportunity, fatigue into presence, fear into direction. It's so simple it deceives the eye, and so profound it moves the entire body. What if, upon noticing this pause, the world began to react subtly, almost magically, as if each breath rewrote what seemed immutable? An instant that 97% ignore, but which redefines how you experience each moment, each decision, each sensation. You feel like you're about to touch something ever-present, silent, waiting to be noticed, something that changes not only what you do, but who you are while you do it. The air that comes and goes holds information that few capture. What if learning to read them could be the difference between remaining stuck in the same cycle or accessing a new flow of clarity, presence, and quiet power? A single instant, a barely perceptible pause, and everything that seemed inevitable begins to rearrange itself before you. Are you ready to notice what 97% ignore, before it's too late? What does it really mean to lose something we don't even know is slipping away? You wake up, feeling the weight of routine pressing down on your shoulders and mind. Every decision demands extra effort, and even small tasks feel like mountains. It's like being trapped in an invisible maze, walls moving with every step, and you wonder if you'll ever find the way out. Your body reacts before your mind. Tension in your chest, tightness in your shoulders, shallow breathing, eyes searching for answers that never come. Meanwhile, the world around you moves on, indifferent, and each unconscious choice reinforces silent patterns that drain energy and confidence. But there's something that changes everything, a subtle mechanism few perceive, an instant of pure attention, a pause hidden between seconds, capable of reorganizing body and mind without conscious effort. Imagine yourself walking through a field covered in fog, where each step seems uncertain, but in the midst of it a small, almost imperceptible crack of light appears, and as you pass through it, you notice the solid ground beneath your feet, the air lighter, the rhythm of your heart synchronized with each breath. It is in this space that the possibility of feeling control without struggle, clarity without exhaustive planning, presence without effort arises. It's so subtle that many overlook it, but enough to generate changes that are reflected in every decision, every interaction, every bodily sensation. What if you could train this perception, expand this moment, perceive the flow before it's lost? What would your routine, your day, your own sense of power over what happens look like? This is why so many people choose to remain here, following each revelation, seeking to notice what has gone unnoticed for so long. And even as the fog seems to dissipate, something remains hidden, a deeper layer waiting to be touched, a secret that doesn't fully reveal itself, but that you feel, silently, pulsing beneath the surface, ready to guide the next step without you having to think too much. Your body, mind, and environment begin to respond in ways you don't yet fully understand, but you already sense that something within you is shifting, and this sensation awakens a silent, almost irresistible curiosity that leads to the next discovery. The fog that seemed like mere metaphor now seems to envelop every gesture, every thought, as if the world were compressing time and energy around you. You feel the pressure in every muscle, a silent tension that erodes patience and clarity, transforming simple decisions into labyrinths of doubt. Every choice made automatically leaves invisible traces. Opportunities that slip away, relationships that fall apart, moments that never return. It's like walking on thin glass covered in water. Each step requires extreme care, and yet the fear of breaking something is constant, throbbing. And as you try to hold your ground, you realize your body reacts before your mind. Shallow breathing, racing heart, tense shoulders, swirling thoughts, like waves that collide and return without respite. Hope appears in flashes, a ray of light between the clouds, but soon blends into the shadows, reminding you that balance is fragile, that stability is a fleeting moment. Even the smallest ignored signals accumulate, building an invisible weight that, over time, transforms into a force capable of altering the course of everything you took for granted. Imagine the sensation of trying to grasp water with your hands. The more force you apply, the more it flows, until all that's left is awareness of emptiness. But amidst this imbalance, something remains intact, a barely perceptible space, a pause between stimulus and reaction that hasn't yet been noticed, but which holds the potential to reorganize the body and mind. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, and yet enough to generate profound changes. Clarity where there was confusion, presence where there was dispersion, lightness where there was heaviness. You sense something is about to reveal itself, that a tipping point is about to emerge, something that challenges what you thought was impossible and doesn't yet allow you to see the whole picture. The tension builds, but there's a fine line between collapse and discovery, and it's on that line that everything quietly shifts. And even as the pressure continues, you sense an invisible force, something working beneath the surface, preparing the ground for something greater, something that can only be felt when it finally emerges, but whose presence is already pulsating, announcing that the turning point is near, though still beyond the reach of full comprehension. And as you feel the invisible weight surrounding each step, you begin to notice details that previously went unnoticed. The slight tremor of your hands as you hold something, the sound of your own heartbeat as it seems to accelerate in response to small thoughts, the way the air seems thicker when your mind is agitated. It's like walking through a room full of mirrors, where each gesture reflects multiple versions of yourself, some tense, others searching for balance, and you realize that the impact of what you ignore silently multiplies, like waves that spread endlessly. At times, the tension eases for a moment. A deep sigh, a moment of silence, and an almost imperceptible clarity emerges, as if, for a moment, the surrounding countryside breathes along with you. It is at this point that many feel the urge to support this journey, leaving a silent signal that the message has touched them, because acknowledging what goes unnoticed is an act of presence that transforms both the observer and the one who surrenders. You realize that each choice is not just an external decision, but an impression left on your own energy, an invisible mark that alters the rhythm of your body and mind, and that can remain or disappear depending on your attention. Imagine sitting by a lake at dawn. The calm surface reflects the sky, but a breath of wind is enough for the waves to distort everything, and only attentive awareness can perceive the return of serenity. This is how the pause, almost imperceptible, acts within you. Silent, yet powerful, and capable of creating small fissures in the routine that allow the extraordinary to enter the ordinary. You sense, even without knowing exactly how, that something greater is approaching, something that defies the logic of effort, that transforms tension into presence, and that makes time seem different, as if each instant could carry full meaning. It's not yet time to see everything, but you can already feel the expectation vibrating, a feeling that what seemed lost or unattainable is about to reveal itself in a way that only the body and perception can anticipate. Your breathing, attention, and the rhythm of your mind begin to interact subtly, and you realize that the transformation you feel is not just emotional, but physical, almost tangible, paving the way for something even deeper that is about to emerge. And as you observe this silent transformation, you perceive layers that were previously hidden. Small gestures become meaningful, the rhythm of the body aligns with that of thought, and each breath carries more than oxygen. It carries awareness, presence, connection. It's like walking in a misty forest, where sunlight penetrates in faint rays, illuminating details that were previously hidden. With each step, you discover textures, colors, and sounds that previously went unnoticed but now become essential. There's a palpable contrast. The weight of worries, the density of routine, the silent fear of losing control, and, at the same time, the lightness that arises from realizing there is an unalterable inner space, a point of stability even when everything seems uncertain. Each moment of attention awakens a new vibration, and you feel the subtle but real impact of awareness on your own energy. The mind wants to anticipate, control, plan, but the body responds differently, reminding you that there is a silent language that can only be felt. Imagine a deep lake. On the surface, restless waves reflect the unstable sky, but in the depths, everything remains calm, waiting to emerge at the right moment. It is in this contrast between surface and depth that the potential of something greater is revealed, something you cannot yet fully comprehend, but whose presence already pulsates, like a secret kept beneath the current. Every sensation, every subtle change in the rhythm of your heart or breathing, is a signal, a clue that there is an invisible path connecting every decision, every emotion, and every impulse. And as you perceive these signals, you feel a curious tension, fear and hope coexisting, a reminder of all that could be lost, and the promise of something that can only be achieved when your attention becomes total. It is a sensation of silent, almost electric anticipation that envelopes body and mind, preparing you for the next moment, the one that has not yet been revealed, but which promises to reorder everything in a way that can only be felt, not explained. As you feel the lightness emerging, you realize it doesn't negate the density of what you still carry. Every memory, every worry, every shadow remains close, reminding you that not everything can be controlled. But there's a new tension, a fine line between fear and hope, pulsing almost imperceptibly, like the slow rhythm of a heart beginning to recognize something different. Imagine being in a deep valley, surrounded by high, shadowy walls, and at the same time noticing rays of light filtering through the cracks, revealing hidden textures, ancient stones, and delicate flowers blooming where no one expected them. The contrast is stark, the fragility of routine, the invisible weight of every unconscious choice, and the possibility of finding space and rhythm where before there was only confusion. The body responds to this realization silently. The breath changes, the chest opens, the inner gaze intensifies, as if every cell recognizes that something new is possible. At the same time, your mind vacillates between anticipation and resistance, between doubt and belief, and you feel this duality reflected in every sensation, in every movement, as if the very energy around you adjusts to your attention. It's a moment of suspension, where everything that seemed linear unfolds in multiple layers, and you realize yourself simultaneously vulnerable and powerful, aware of invisible losses and gains not yet felt. The wind touching your face, the faint echo of footsteps that don't exist, the whisper of time passing without permission, all contribute to this tension that is at once silent and vibrant. And even as light and shadow mingle, you sense something greater is about to reveal itself, something that can only be experienced, felt with body and mind in harmony, yet remains hidden, waiting to be noticed. Your breathing deepens, but full comprehension still eludes you, leaving a sense of anticipation that cannot be rushed, only observed, felt, and recognized in each moment that lengthens, as if the next breath holds the key to something that has not yet fully revealed itself. As the subtle pause begins to take root within you, you notice the silent effect it has on everything around you. Every gesture begins to carry intention, every decision gains weight, as if small changes ripple outward in invisible waves that shape outcomes without you having to force anything. Imagine an ancient garden, full of narrow paths and dense trees. When you plant a seed mindfully, you observe not only the plant's growth, but how the light, water, and wind respond, reorganizing the entire space around it. This is how each instant of presence acts within you. It doesn't just alter what's immediately visible, but transforms entire layers of perception, behavior, and reaction. The contrast is clear. Before, each step seemed effortful and drained energy. Now, small, conscious actions generate unexpected, subtle, yet powerful effects, as if each breath sent signals that the world hears. You begin to notice that the feedback isn't always immediate, but rather accumulates, creating patterns that foster clarity, rhythm, and silent impact. At the same time, there's a natural tension. The mind wants quick results, the body wants tangible signs, and you find yourself balancing between patience and expectation, between impulse and observation, feeling the dance between action and reaction. It's in this space that insights emerge that you might want to share, reflections that seem simple but carry the potential for transformation. And realizing this, even in silence, is realizing the value of each small, conscious movement. Every choice that once seemed mundane now reverberates in unexpected ways, and you begin to notice patterns of influence that previously went unnoticed, as if the atmosphere itself responds to the rhythm of your air and the intention of your body. It's a silent, strategic game, where minimal effort, applied precisely and observed carefully, generates effects that multiply organically. And even as you feel these waves expanding, you sense that something even deeper is about to reveal itself, an effect that transcends immediate consciousness but is already beginning to manifest itself in the most subtle signs around you, inviting you to notice, reflect, and, if you wish, leave a silent comment, a sign that you have noticed the movement before it becomes visible to everyone. And as you notice the silent impact of each small, conscious action, you notice the consequences extend to dimensions that once seemed distant, almost intangible. Each choice, each conscious breath, begins to alter your perception of your body, the rhythm of your mind, and the way your environment reacts to your presence. Imagine walking on a suspension bridge over a turbulent river, the movement of the wind, the sway of the structure, the water below rushing mercilessly, and yet you find balance by adjusting your weight and breathing. The tension doesn't disappear. On the contrary, it reveals details that previously went unnoticed, subtle differences between what is essential and what is noise, between what nourishes and what drains. The contrast intensifies. Moments of progress emerge amidst unexpected obstacles, clarity arises amid confusion, and each instant of attention becomes a thread connecting something larger, yet invisible. You begin to feel that the perception of each movement is not just about action, but about resonance, as if each breath is sending signals that the world registers in ways it cannot yet fully comprehend. The body reacts, the heart synchronizes, the mind calms, and even if the environment remains unpredictable, there is an inner axis that remains firm, a stability you discover in small flashes, like flashlights illuminating stretches of the previously dark path. And in this alternation of tension and pause, of challenge and advancement, the feeling emerges that each instant is an opportunity for adjustment, a moment to calibrate intentions and perceive patterns that previously went unnoticed. It's a subtle but persistent flow, where every detail counts, and where what seems ordinary hides layers of influence that can transform the course of everything you do and feel. And even as you observe these silent changes, you sense something even greater, something that transcends immediate perception, a revelation that doesn't fully unfold but pulsates before you, inviting attention and presence to what is about to become more intensely visible. And as you absorb these silent changes, you realize that each detail reveals layers that were previously hidden, as if peeling back the surface of a complex and profound landscape. Every gesture, every breath, every moment of attention acts like a reflection in multiple mirrors. Small internal changes reverberate outside, creating patterns that expand, but almost imperceptibly. Imagine crossing a narrow canyon, where sunlight penetrates only tiny crevices, illuminating hidden details in the rock, creating shadows and highlights that shift with each step. It is in this play of light and shadow that you perceive the true depth of the terrain, the risks and opportunities that coexist side by side. The contrast is intense. Confidence arises from brief moments of clarity, but doubt lingers nearby, reminding you that balance is never absolute, that attention needs to be renewed at every moment. You feel your body react to this tension. Your chest opens, your spine straightens, your mind becomes more sensitive to the environment, and even the subtlest nuances seem to carry meaning. Each conscious step becomes a reference point, a way of realizing that small, accumulated changes can transform your perception of the whole, even when the effects are not yet visible. Hope intertwines with challenge. The sense of progress blends with the awareness of obstacles that still need to be overcome, and you begin to notice subtle patterns of action and reaction that previously went unnoticed. It's as if each moment has two sides, what is seen and what remains hidden, awaiting recognition. You find yourself constantly balancing your perception between the two, aware that each choice influences not only the present but also the way the future unfolds before you. And as you feel this dynamic tension, there's a quiet sense that something greater is about to emerge, something that hasn't yet fully revealed itself but pulsates with potential, requiring only that your perception remain open, attentive, and sensitive, ready to capture the next movement that will subtly but profoundly transform your entire experience. And now, after exploring every nuance, every moment of attention that seemed invisible, you feel something different pulsing within you. It's as if a veil has been lifted, revealing colors, textures, and rhythms that were previously hidden in routine and in your mind. Each breath becomes conscious, each gesture carries intention, and even small moments take on weight, direction, and meaning. Imagine yourself in a vast field, open at dawn, where the sun touches the grass still wet with dew, and the air entering your lungs seems to carry the essence of everything that is possible to perceive, feel, and transform. The shadow of obstacles is still present, but the light of clarity is already beginning to expand, revealing paths that previously seemed impossible. Each step taken in this silent space reinforces the sense of control and alignment, as if body and mind have learned to dance to the same rhythm, harmoniously connecting intention, emotion, and action. You realize that what was once effort now flows, that what seemed scattered becomes integrated, and that each instant of presence becomes a powerful tool, capable of reorganizing perceptions and attitudes in an almost magical way. It is at this point that the experience becomes transformative, not just by understanding, but by feeling, by experiencing every nuance, every detail as part of a greater whole. And upon realizing this, a natural desire arises to share, to record your impact, comment on what resonated, like, and subscribe, not out of obligation, but as part of a silent commitment to your own evolution and to those who walk alongside you. The privilege of being attentive to this sequence of discoveries makes you feel part of something rare, something few have the opportunity to experience so fully. Every second lived in this state expands the perception that the world responds to what you bring in energy, intention, and consciousness, and that the simple act of recognizing this dynamic is, in itself, a profound transformation. And as the field expands, silently, you understand that the power lies not in changing the world outside, but in tuning into the world within, feeling each breath as a thread connecting reality and perception, and realizing that, by following this journey thus far, you have been invited to access something that few recognize, something that remains alive, in potential, ready to be explored and cultivated with each moment that follows.